Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? So we are going to cover the new sigil update. As you guys all probably could have already seen, at least from sneak peeks that came up from the alpha server. As you can tell, we have a new skin. So we got Cav and range attack with the little what appears to be kind of a mermaid. And of course, with all updates, we now have something called sigils. Now, of course, as you guys all probably know, sigils are expensive because you got to get archaic tomes. And, well, yeah, nobody wants to do that because, they're 900 gems a pop. Right, so as you guys can tell, you've got 2 minutes when this event starts. But this is my advice to you. So, if you're going to burn your energy during this event from the 18th to the 23rd, I think you're going to do it wrong. And here's why. I don't think the drop rate on the Azure chests is going to be as good as most people think. You're not going to get sigils out of the Azure chest, and you'll get legendary jewel chests out of here once in a while, but don't depend on it. In other words, I recommend that if you're going to do this event, make sure that you increase the row limit or aim to kill level 1s and 2s. But most importantly, aim for the row limit, because I think ultimately what you're going to aim for here is basically hitting a lot of these monsters in bulks of energy. And that means you don't want to use your energy bags, because what you're going to want to do is by the 22nd, you want to take all the energy you've had stored up to this point and you want to go completely ham on this. Now, the reason being is because as soon as you've done that, after that daily event is ended, you can do the Lord's Cup to start grabbing some of those radiant or brilliant chests to get some more jewels and more speed ups and more gems. And that way you can pick up archaic tomes as well as sigils along the way from those radiant chests. But most importantly, by the time you've done this, you should have enough speed ups and enough gems that you can then do from the 24th to the 27th hell events non-stop so that you can get those jewels, speed ups, and hopefully more archaic tomes and sigils along the way from those radiant chests. But that is how I'm going to approach it. Now, of course, I thought, I'd go ahead and kind of show people some things that I am certainly, kind of freaking out about, which is the fact that obviously the Wolfpack sigil, which that I knew about, this I had no idea existed. But apparently, you can hide common equipment from others. Common. Okay, that means that the tier of your equipment can technically be hidden. The higher the tier of the sigil, the higher the you can hide your gear. So it breaks the ability for people to be able to kind of guess what gear type you're going to use. It eliminates that possibility, and it's a $100 pack, as you can tell, and for good reason, because you can now kind of hide what gear you're using. In rallies, you could hide your gear in trapping. Shadow sigils are a game changer when it comes to actually being able to hide your gear. Now, the only thing about this issue, at least, is it's probably going to take several shadow sigils to really hide legendary equipment. And why I say that is because when you go into the workshop, you'll notice that when you go to all equipment or even go to, say, just the cabinet, you'll notice that we have something called sigil fusion. And my assumption here is that it's going to take several $100 packs to create a sigil that actually hides your legendary equipment. So believe me, it's not as OP as it sounds, but it is OP if you look at it from that perspective. So that is a huge deal. But obviously, you've got this pack as well, which is a $5 pack. It's called the Wolfpack sigil, and it increases rally attack, only for wonders, mind you, though, based on the total number of Wolfpack sigils inlaid on the rally participants' equipment. So it is kind of morally interesting as to how much attack we're really talking here, but it's certainly a game changer. Although you'll notice that archaic tomes are not available in either pack. Okay? It's just the sigils, and the shadow sigils being the most valuable. Now, of course, that's as exciting as anything for this. As far as the spenders are concerned, this is a huge deal. And really, I think it's a big deal for just about everybody, but obviously only a select few will have it, much like Champion. So having that said, okay, obviously with that new particular update, as you guys all should know, okay, the 4th slot is now unlocked. All right, that means that now it is actually possible for players to be able to carry technically 4 slots. Now, if you're curious, what slots are they actually affecting here? It's mostly going to be related in order of basically, whatever sigil they have in there at the time. So if, for example, the sigil they have in there is rally attack, then that's what it'll be. But if it's hiding the gear, then it'll be that instead. Whatever it in fact will become, though, I will say this much, and this is saying a lot, okay? For those of you out there that are just now getting a hold of this update, just know that you're initially going to have a very hard time being able to do any of this research. And frankly, everybody out there that has already gotten access to this, believe me, you probably don't want to try and jam your way through this, because I don't see it happening. I would wait until there is an opportunity to farm the chests if you can, because it seems to me that if that is the option that we're given, I recommend trying that first before you dump a couple 100,000 gems. Because mind you, this is just for this research. If you go up to, say, your cav attack research, it's at 3. If you go up as high into the helmet sigil, it's 96. All right, so you may want to wait and see. But obviously, with the new research, of course, everybody's kind of freaking out about it. I'm sure to at least a degree. And for those of you out there who are like, guys, I'm going to quit the game. This is OP. Look, to be quite honest with you, I don't think very many people are going to have it as much as many people would like to think. This is not much different than the Grim Reaper in the sense that, frankly, not everybody's going to have it, and the few that even do have it were probably too OP to begin with. But having that said, all right, with all of it and more, okay, as you guys all can tell, I have 485,000 gems. I'm currently just kind of chilling with research and construction, and I'm just naturally doing my own thing. Of course, I'm a little bit low on food, but that's just, it's the luxury of building up tier 4s. But having that said, okay, one of the things that I do recommend you guys do to kind of build up is definitely get that energy storage of yours stored up, because odds are, once the event kind of cracks down, packs like these are probably going to disappear. And so, at least from what I can tell, I mean, with the Wolfpack Sigil pack for $5, it's definitely interesting. But this one really came as a surprise for me, because I just did not know I didn't realize that they were going to allow sigils that could be capable of such sinister things. And it's frankly it really kind of begs the question of what other kind of sigils they have out there, just sitting there. Because, for all I know, there may be more. But that's the thing, where we can increase rally attack. Mind you, that it does stack depending on the number of sigils you have. So, interestingly enough, right, if let's suppose the tier of a sigil can be improved because of sigil fusion, right? The only thing that kind of says to me anyways is that, well, there's a lot more to this than we previously thought. I mean, for those of you out there that are just kind of like in the mid pay-to-play section, I think Wolfpack sigils will become pretty relevant for you. But I definitely don't think if you are anywhere near the Archaic Tome department when it comes to actually getting these, I don't recommend diving into that just yet, because you really kind of have to go down here, get your helmet sigil, and then get down into the main hand and offhand sigils before it's worth it. And like I told you, all right, if anything, you're not going to gem this. There's no way gymming this is going to make any sense at all for most players. All right, guys? Like, if you're going to approach this, you're going to have to approach it with a fairly different strategy, which is you're going to have to find alternatives to actually getting those tomes. And if that means going out, hunting for the monsters for the tomes, and going complete batshit, then that's really probably your best option. I'm just saying that because, to be honest with you, I can tell you this much, but take 96, all right, out of 100. That's 81,000 gems a pop, guys. That's a lot. Now, I will say this, though. It is a one-time thing, so once it's done, it's done. But you got to go from 1 to all of these, all right? Now the thing is these are all up to 8, so there's no telling how many tomes you're going to spend just trying to get to this one thing anyway. So please, without further ado, just make sure that you find an alternative to finding these tomes. And I'll have more videos on the way with this update and kind of break down some of the hopefully we'll look into the stats of these sigils to kind of see what exactly we have on our way. Of course, I hope you guys are as excited about this particular update as much as I am. And needless to say, if you guys have any thoughts on it, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, because like I said, I know this event, for a lot of you out there, is going to be hellaciously difficult to obtain. But believe me, I think together we can figure out a way to actually get all of these sigils in our own little hands. Needless to say, I'll see you guys next time. And check out these videos.